Now at 5, we have severe weather, which is going to be rolling into the region. Tornado watch is out until 10 p.m. I'm going to have all those details.
County teachers and staff kick off the new year with 2 days of training to be better teachers in 2023.
With the new year comes a new session of Congress. I'm Nicole D'Antonio on Capitol Hill with the challenges facing Kevin McCarthy as he tries to secure the gavel for Speaker of the House.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some areas of the 4 states are under a tornado watch until tonight. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Carrie Worthen. Let's go straight to meteorologist Doug Hetty with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we do have a tornado watch, which is in effect until 10 p.m. This includes all of our counties on the Kansas side, also northeastern parts of Oklahoma, also Benton County, northwest Arkansas. It does not include southwestern Missouri. Doesn't mean you're not going to have storms. Just as they work into the Missouri side, they may start to weaken a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if a severe thunderstorm watch or possibly even a tornado watch pops up on the Missouri side later on this evening. We've had one batch of scattered showers and thunderstorms, which has already pushed through the region, but those are not really the ones we're keeping our eyes on. You can see one little guy popping up southern parts of Cherokee County. We have some bigger storms just to the east of Tulsa. All of these are pushing northeast into the region. We also have another little cluster just to the west of Independence, Neodesha, and also Fredonia. So we got to keep our eyes on these as they continue to head into our region as we go through the next couple hours. You can see how big this whole storm system is. A lot of snow up across the northern plains. So we at least have a low to elevated severe threat as we go through the evening hours. Now until 11 p.m. Main threats: tornado, wind, hail. We're going to elevate all the threats as we need to keep our eyes on this as we go through the next few hours. Of course, I'll have more details on tonight here in just a bit.
McDonald County teachers and staff kick off the new year with 2 days of training to become better teachers in 2023. Administrators say that the training is important before the second semester begins because it gives staff the opportunity to sharpen their skills and learn new techniques. It also gives them a chance to meet other teachers, share ideas, and improve education.
And then we're implementing a new Reading Horizons program, which focuses on phonics and phonemic awareness for our K through 5 students, and teachers are getting some training in how to approach that in the classroom to help our students who struggle to read.
Students at McDonald County High School resume for a new semester on Wednesday. The Vatican estimates 65,000 people filed past the body of Pope Benedict today as he lies in state. Before the crowds arrived, Benedict's closest aides prayed over him in a monastery at the Vatican. Benedict became Pope in 2005 and was known for his strict interpretation of Catholic Church doctrine. Despite his failures, he was the first Pope to meet the victims of sex abuse and to publicly apologize. The former pontiff died Saturday at the age of 95, and he'll be laid to rest Thursday. A new session of Congress gets underway tomorrow. The first item on the agenda for the 118th Congress is electing a new Speaker of the House. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy has struggled to win the backing of some in his party, whose support is needed because of the very narrow majority of the GOP holds in the House. Nicole Nantiano has more details from Capitol Hill.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy wouldn't say whether he'll need to cut more deals to be the next Speaker of the House.
I hope you all have a very nice week.
McCarthy held a conference call with House Republicans Sunday, making concessions in order to win more votes for the speakership. He agreed to rule changes, including the ability of any 5 members of the majority party to initiate a vote to remove the speaker. He also agreed to establish select committees to investigate President Biden's COVID and border policies, and to reviews of the FBI and DOJ's investigations into former President Trump and the January 6th riots.
He stood there in front of the conference and went through item by item and helped negotiate a rules change package that was broadly endorsed, including changes that I personally wouldn't have done.
Most Republicans support McCarthy, but the GOP holds such a narrow majority in the House, he can only afford to lose 4 votes before falling under the 218 vote threshold to win the speakership.
If 5 or 6 people hold out, all we're really doing is empowering the other side.
One Republican who says he will support McCarthy is embattled New Yorker George Santos. The Long Island congressman-elect is under scrutiny after admitting much of the biography he presented to voters is false.
This is a decision, whether he resigns or stays, that needs to be made between he and the voters who elected him. He's certainly going to have to consider resigning.
Santos says he plans to take the oath tomorrow, though he could face ethics charges once he's sworn into office. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
New York State and federal prosecutors say they are also investigating the finances of Congressman-elect Santos. Still ahead, risk-taking while driving.
Americans are taking more chances on the road. I'm Astrid Martinez with a new report showing risky behavior behind the wheel is making a comeback.
And next in Health Watch, the FDA recently approved a drug to delay the onset of symptoms for people who have type 1 diabetes. Topping today's Health Watch, this week, the Food and Drug Administration is expected to announce whether it will give accelerated approval of an experimental new treatment, Lidocaine. Lidocaine is one of the first experimental dementia drugs that appears to slow the progression of cognitive decline. It has been its association with certain serious adverse events, including brain and swelling and bleeding. The FDA's final decision for Lidocaine is expected by January 6th. About 2 million Americans have type 1 diabetes, once called insulin-dependent or juvenile diabetes, and the number of cases is rising. The FDA recently approved a drug to delay the onset of symptoms for people at high risk. Dr. John Lupak shows us how the treatment could buy years of health without need for insulin.
From an early age, Anna Ferguson saw how type 1 diabetes affected her older sister, Kate.
I knew that I would never want to experience what she was going through.
In type 1 diabetes, the immune system mistakenly destroys insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. When Ferguson was 5, blood tests showed she had certain antibodies that meant her risk of developing diabetes over the next 5 years was about 75%.
As she hit that age 12 and her blood sugar started to go out of whack, then it was kind of, all right, now what are we going to do?
That's when Ferguson's parents enrolled her in a clinical trial led by Yale University immunologist Dr. Kevin Herold. It's an intravenous infusion of a specially designed monoclonal antibody called Tzield.
Instead of half of the people developing diabetes in 2 years, half of the people developed diabetes in 4 years.
When you saw those results, what was your reaction?
I was hoping it would be even longer, but any time without diabetes is a gift.
Dr. Herold says a breakthrough in diabetes treatment is long overdue.
We have better insulins, we have methods of delivering it that have advanced significantly, but it's never as perfect as your own pancreas in making insulin.
While she was earning her degree at the University of Maine, Anna Ferguson's blood sugar became too high again, so she traveled to New Haven for a second round of Tzield infusions. Side effects have been relatively mild. Even if it doesn't buy her more time without insulin, the family is grateful for the gift she's already received.
I feel incredibly lucky and, holding out hope that it works.
The list price of a single course of therapy is $193,000. But consider this. People with diabetes spend an average of nearly $10,000 a year on related medical expenses. Although a one-time treatment is expensive, Tzield could be a cost-saving treatment over the lifetime of young people like Anna.
Dr. John Lapook, CBS News, New York.
There's hope this same preventive approach could one day be used for other autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, or MS. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, we'll take a look at the effect that temperature drops on having allergies.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a warm one for us today. In fact, record highs across the region. And now we have to deal with showers and thunderstorms, which are going to roll through this evening. We even have a severe threat across the area. So everybody, at least a low threat, a little bit higher threat once you get down into northwestern Arkansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So timing really from now until about 11 p.m. Main threats here, tornado, wind, and hail. So we're going to elevate all the threats It's not a high tornado threat, but it's definitely present. So we want to keep our eyes on that. All right, tornado watch in effect. This includes southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas. In the yellow box here, you can see a severe thunderstorm warning. So we are starting to get some warnings which are popping up. First off, earlier this afternoon, we had one batch of showers and thunderstorms kind of pushed through, mainly affected Springfield, Branson. And then now we're watching this second batch, the main show, which is going to rotate through as we go into the evening hours. Already little thunderstorms, Cherokee County, some in Bourbon County, some bigger ones once you get just to the west of Fredonia and Neodesha. And then, of course, we have some building just to the south of Veneta near Tulsa. So first off, one little guy near Columbus. You can see Joplin is dry at this point in time, but lifting toward Pittsburgh. So that thunderstorm will affect parts of Pittsburgh over about the next 10 to 15 minutes. Fort Scott over toward Hepler, and then also Elsmore, a couple little thunderstorms. Some bigger ones just to the west, Fredonia, Neodesha. These are strong, not severe thunderstorm warnings, but something we want to keep our eyes on. And then a bigger cluster of storms. So here's Veneta, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. And these are lifting northeast, so they will push into Craig County and eventually Ottawa County as we get into the next 30 to 45 minutes. So we want to watch those as we go through the evening hours. But you can see here's our front just to the west of Bartlesville, a little guy trying to pop up just to the west of Tulsa. So we are going to have these showers, thunderstorms rolling through, most of them kind of 6 p.m. until about 9 or 10 p.m. After 10, our severe threat will drop. But look at the storms all the way down through parts of Texas, and then you got very heavy amounts of snow going on, Nebraska into the northern plains. All right, let's step through time. 6 p.m., thunderstorms flaring up. Southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, getting into the metro now by about 7 p.m. Pittsburgh. Again, some of these guys could be strong to possibly severe down through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. As we continue through the evening hours, they really flare up on the Missouri side now. So here's 7:30, 8 p.m. Again, severe threat continues as we continue through the evening. 8:30 p.m. Still showers, thunderstorms, severe threat. Our western counties, your threat at this point in time is going down. Showers, thunderstorms, 9 p.m., mainly in southwestern Missouri. I think after 9 to 10, we're still going to have scattered thunderstorms, but our severe threat will start to drop, which is definitely good news. But we're still going to have scattered thunderstorms even after midnight. So our chances really shoot up the next couple hours. Then they will start to trail off after midnight for us tonight. Rainfall amounts, we really just have to see where the heaviest storms set up. But with the bigger storms, we're going to pick up a half an inch, 2 inches of rain with some of those bigger storms. And then we'll start to dry out and cool down as we go into your Tuesday. 52 tomorrow, 48 Wednesday, 47 Thursday. Mainly a dry week. We'll get some showers in here Friday night and Saturday morning, but of course, even when you have a severe threat and definitely a tornado threat, pay attention. If you don't have our Skywatch weather app, now's a good time to download it.
Yes, I had the weather app. I use it daily. I love it.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
So thank you for keeping us updated.
Absolutely.
If you're allergic to pollen, you may be getting a break from the sniffles and sneezes, but when the temperatures dip, many face another foe. Manny Gaither has more on how to cope with winter allergies.
If you think allergies only strike in the spring, summer, and fall, think again. Winter is a prime time for perennial allergens.
So those are the ones from our furried fat pets. They're from mold and dust mites typically.
If you have a runny nose, are sneezing, have watery, itchy eyes or nose, are coughing, and these symptoms linger for weeks, you may be suffering from indoor allergies. Let's start with pet dander. They're cute and cuddly, but if you're feeling sneezy after being around a cat or dog, keep them off furniture, especially your bed. Cleveland Clinic allergist Dr. Sandra Hong says antihistamines can help.
If you leave someone's home with a cat and you're allergic to them and you go home and you sit on your favorite couch that's upholstered and you just hang out there and you lay down, that cat protein will linger there for 4 months.
That's why Hong says showering and changing clothes after being around someone else's pet is a good idea. If you're allergic to dust mites, you may wake up stuffy. Hong says adding an air purifier in the bedroom may help and says to use high-efficiency air filters to clean dust from the air and replace them frequently. Vacuum carpets or wet mop hard floors often, and put covers that help keep allergens from collecting on mattresses, pillows, and comforters. If symptoms don't improve or you have trouble breathing, see a doctor.
There are so many different things that can be used to treat your allergies and make you feel a whole lot better.
Dr. Hong says to wash your bed linens in hot water each week and let them dry in hot heat. That can also help get rid of those dust mites that may be bothering you. Coming up, drinking and driving is a big reason U.S. roads are the deadliest, but a new report finds risky behavior is happening all year round. But first, we honor a local veteran. Specialist Jackie Termine in the U.S. Army, the Parsons, Kansas native, joined the 507th Transportation Group, served tours in both Vietnam and in Germany from 1961 to 1971. He earned a number of honors, among them the National Defense Ribbon and the Vietnam Service Medal for 4 campaign stars. To Jackie Termine, we thank you, our 4-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, millions of people are driving home from their holiday destinations today. Unfortunately, New Year's and the days surrounding it are just some of the deadliest on the U.S. roads, taking about 400 lives a year, according to the National Safety Council. Drinking and driving is the biggest reason, but why a new report finds risky behavior is happening all year round. Astrid Martinez reports from New York.
In May, police responded to the scene of a deadly crash that took the life of NFL player Jeff Gladney and his girlfriend. Investigators say Gladney was speeding in this vehicle when he clipped another SUV. He lost control, flipped into a bridge pillar, and the car burst into flames.
The risk profile of drivers out on the road today is fundamentally riskier than it was before COVID.
Jake Nelson from AAA says many risky behaviors that were declining are making a comeback.
The number of people who admitted to driving while impaired by alcohol, cannabis, speeding, texting while driving, a whole range of risky driving behaviors has increased dramatically.
A new survey finds the percentage of drivers who admit speeding actually fell to 45% in 2020, but then jumped to more than 50%. Driving impaired is also a problem. The number of people who admitted smoking cannabis before getting behind the wheel is up more than 13%. Drinking and driving rose almost 24%. The results come as traffic fatalities increased more than 10%. Many of those deaths were from speeding.
The number of people who both say that speeding is a dangerous activity to engage in, but also admit to doing it themselves has increased over the last several years. You would have to travel 100 miles, traveling 80 miles per hour instead of 75 miles per hour just to shave off 5 minutes from your travel time.
Nelson says the faster someone is driving, the higher the risk of causing a deadly crash. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the travel nightmare continues after an air traffic control issue delays flights for hours as travelers head home from the local holidays. Then on KOAM News at 6, a local school district is making sure teachers are prepared for the upcoming semester. Plus, the country's youngest black elected mayor was sworn in yesterday morning, and a former Pitt State player earns his spot in the XFL. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6.
All right, thunderstorms really getting going across the region. Look at these guys exploding southeastern Kansas, really from Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, and then picking up in Ottawa County. And then we have several severe thunderstorm warnings down across southern parts of Craig County and near Tulsa. And all this is heading northeast, so we have a severe threat from now until about 9 or 10 p.m. So something we definitely want to watch closely because we do have that tornado threat over the next few hours. We clear out, cool down next few days, 52 tomorrow, 48 on Wednesday.
Okay, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.